Well, hello folks, I'm L.A. Little, and this is today's short take. There's a tale of two stocks going on right now. One is Google. This is a daily time frame. You can see the push up, gap up on earnings. And then you gap up on the news of this large holding company. Volume's not as much. It goes up, it tests this top, right? Test right to the penny almost. Less volume. That's probably going to stagnate, right? You're probably going to see this, end up in some sort of a range. Maybe that range gets a little bit larger as we go over in time. Maybe it pokes just above it, but the range looks to be in effect. But the key thing here is that this stock is doing what? It's moving higher, right? You've got a stock that overall has a nice move going to the top side. It's testing the top side. It's expanding to the top side. Apple. Apple has earnings and it does exactly the opposite, right? It trades gap down, expands to the downside, comes up to do a retest regen bearish off this bar, and starts to regenerate lower. This is a very different chart than the one we saw just a second ago. Matter of fact, it's almost an exact opposite of what we just saw. Downtrend, not uptrend. What do you do when you're an investor? You try to stay with the trend. If you're not shorting Apple, you shouldn't be in Apple. And I don't know that you should be shorting Apple, because if you look at Apple and you pull this back, put it on a weekly time frame, for example, your trend is still generally up to sideways. So it's not as if you should be shorting a strong stock unless it sets up a good opportunity. I mean, the target here is down into this area. It looks to me like it's going to shoot after this bar. That's going to be the test. And then you have one more down here, and so you've got a couple more lower price points that this stock wants to trade to. When it wants to trade down, let it trade down. When it gets down there, then you can decide if it makes sense to buy it or not. But until it gets there, it's a different chart. Google going up, Apple going down. Avoid the weak, buy the strong. Pretty simple scenario, pretty simple formula. It's just a formula that you have to implement. That's it for today's short take.